rewind this jump 100 times. You know what I'm saying?
Then where you get the pick from? That thing came from out of nowhere.
I keep the pick on me. I keep it on me all the time. All the
Right.
time.
Right.
What's up? What you doing?
Look, man. Look, I'm out here trying to create content. I'm not gonna allow this pandemic to keep us down. Although, I have been doing all my resting and all that. But I just I need to do something, or otherwise I'm gonna go stir crazy.
I feel you. Same here. It's for me, this pandemic, this whole COVID-19 coronavirus is really a time for people to check themselves and really identify with true character and who they really are, because we all knew what to do when everything was going good. We knew what to do when we were getting paid on a regular to do jobs, but when it stops, that's when we need to lock in, get focused. Like you said, you creating this platform is amazing. It's great because you're able to tap into something that you may not could have done while you were so busy, you know?
That's exactly what it is too. And I had to sit there and think. I was like, man, with how our schedules are, I already knew I wouldn't have been able to do this. So that's why I'm like, let me do this now, because if I wait and then we do get the call to come back to work, it's just gonna be an idea sitting in the queue. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But no, bro. So go ahead and tell the people who you are. I'm like, I need to remember to start doing that, because I jumped right into the conversations, and I did that with a few of the other people I interviewed, and I was like, dang, you gotta come back.
All right, bet. Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Chaney. I'm an actor, artist. Many of you may know me as the character Poop from the HBO series The Wire. I'm currently starring as the character Kendrick on Bounce TV's #1 show, Saints and Sinners. And, I'm a father, I'm a husband, a family man, and definitely a hip hop artist. I got records out, and, I'm just an all around cool person.
What's up? He is, y'all. He is. He became my brother instantly on set. I was just like, you are my big brother here, since I don't have no family in Atlanta.
I feel you, and vice versa. You definitely my sister. You know that.
Yeah, man. So I'm loving that. I'm loving what you're doing too. I saw your IG live platform, and I say, yo, that is dope.
Yeah, and you know what, Mandy, is so funny because give them flowers while they're still here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It started as just a regular conversation on IG, and I mean, like, we all do IG lives, we do Zooms, we do all of that, but just talking to my friends in the industry and people that I really, consider family, just me telling them how they inspired me turned into me screen recording the conversations. And I'm like, well, let me screen record these conversations and put them out to let other people know how they may have inspired me. Maybe that can help someone else. Because usually everybody I talk to has a testimonial about, how they came into the business or things that they've done or things that they had to overcome. So I was like, people need to hear this type of stuff, because right now we're in a place where everybody needs motivation. Everybody needs inspiration, needs to be uplifted, and anything you could think of that's positive. I said, let me just do this. And of course, with us doing this out of the comfort of our own homes, we're not getting no money from it. You know what I'm saying? We just got relationships with our friends. Like how me and you, we got a relationship. We brother and sister, and if you need me or if I need you for anything, we there. So I was like, let me just put this out on a platform like IG where everybody's at home watching, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
understand. Yeah, they can understand what it is. I mean, honestly too, where I come from, I'm still a humble person, and we both know that we both came from humble beginnings and backgrounds and stuff. And so I'm still to this day amazed that I can even have relationships with you and like Faison and like the other folks and stuff, Craig Smith, all of them that I got to talk to. And like you said, I have relationships with them, not just, oh, I'm this stranger, like, yo, let me just come and talk to you. I'm like, no, I want this to be candid. I want this to be unfiltered. And that's the whole premise of mine. That's why I loved yours too, because I'm like, yeah, he's doing that aspect of letting them know, if you trying to come in, this is what you got to do. But for me, I'm like, I'm letting folks know that y'all regular people. That these is my folks. You know what I'm saying? Like I have regular conversations with them. I don't have to talk to them all the time about business. Although that may come in there, but so it's a different realm for me.
And it's real, it's authentic, because like you said, we all got relationships with each other where it's on and off screen. It's not necessarily we got to talk about business. I mean, my wife and my kids, what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's more so family than anything. And that's what I understand about people really identifying with what me and you both are doing.
Yeah.
They want to see somebody, and somebody that you really got a relationship with, that you could talk to. They don't want to see nobody that you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm like, that's just
that's industry. It's industry. And even with us being fortunate enough to be in the industry around so many great people that later on become like family. I mean, that's just we're blessed to have that type of situation. But at the same time, like you said, people want to see authentic people and real people,
They do, and that's how I feel too. I don't want to get on and try to feel like I'm faking the funk or anything. So I specifically reached out to certain people. I'm like, I know I have a relationship with you. We have stories about on and off the sets, and
that's true.
This is definitely going to be one to go down in history too.
Facts.
Being able to do this from the comfort of our own home. So So how is Miss Chaney, Mrs. Chaney?
Everybody's good.
Okay.
Aisha's doing well. Malachi's doing well. We just we got a grandchild now.
I was just gonna say that grandbaby.
Yeah.
I know Aisha was so excited. Y'all are like the youngest looking grandparents I've seen in a long time.
I know, right? So Martina, our daughter, she just welcomed in Morocco. Our granddaughter's name is Morocco. She was born April 26th at 8:06 p.m. and she weighs 6 pounds and 10 ounces. And they're perfectly fine. They're healthy. They just came from a doctor's appointment earlier this week, and the baby, like we haven't shared pictures yet because we're waiting for Tina to let us know when we can share pictures. But we got a bunch of FaceTime pictures and screenshots of this baby smiling and already showing personality, and we just we definitely can't wait to share it with the world. It's going to be getting shared probably next month, but this baby is really alert and real.
You gotta let her get acclimated to the world first. She was born into a whole crisis, and so she's like a joy right now. She's like a joy to this craziness.
That's crazy. That you got a point with that. Yeah, she was born into, to a point where we had to look at, our daughter, hold her right after she delivered her on FaceTime. That everything that's going on now is almost unheard of, because like you said, this pandemic, this crisis, that baby is definitely, and all of the babies that were born,
all the babies that were born during this,
it's real, because nobody can go in the hospital. Nope. The only person that can go in the hospital is the child's father or whoever actually brought her to the hospital. That was the only people that could go in the hospital.
Right.
So it's it's a tough time. Yeah, I feel you. It's a tough time when it comes to that, because we're attached to our kids and our grandchild, and we really want to see her, but to be safe, we'd rather be safe than sorry. We don't want to expose our daughter or our grandchild around anything, any germs that we may still carry around, even if we don't have coronavirus or we're not affected by it, but we just don't. We want to be safe than sorry.
Exactly. That's cool. So how does Malachi feel being an uncle?
He's overjoyed. He's overjoyed, because of course, him and Tina's the age bracket. Tina has him by 14 years. He's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tina's 27. So with with Morocco being here now, being a couple of days old, it's like, oh, I got a niece now, so he's real excited, and just like him, he's excited to, once this is over, get to do some traveling, go out there, or they come out here. We're just really pacing ourselves during this time and staying the course.
Yeah.
So this is over. But at the same time, it's remaining focused and really just staying inspired and motivated to say, okay, one day at a time.
Yeah.
We got to take it one day at a time now. That's all anybody can do.
Right. So you pretty much answered my first question. I was going to ask how you holding up during all this quarantine and stuff, and this lockdown. And you answered it because you're the first person I've talked to out of everyone that actually have a full family at home. Like everybody else is either single or they're not at their current residence. So yeah, that's awesome to hear that, though, that you're still basically having a whole family, the family orientation. However, you guys are acclimating through this whole pandemic. That's pretty cool.
It's I'm gonna be honest with you, sis. It's really, like I said, this is a time when it first hit. I always go back to March, because I remember the day Malachi came home from school and said, "Dad, this is." They're saying that this is going to be my last day of school for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Oh. And that moment, I want to say it was the week of the 9th. I know it was around March 13th or something like that. But that moment, when that really settled in, I was like, okay, wait a minute. This is real. Yeah. They're talking about kids not being in school. And then you go a couple of more weeks, and then they say, okay, well, everything's closing.
Yeah.
Y'all need to stay in the house, quarantine. And then you start hearing about people that's dying from it. And then it's, so this thing has took me through different emotions, because at the same time, what we do. We're in a field of entertainment, and that's how, I make, that's my bread and butter. Like, being an actor. Yeah, being an artist, and when about 7 or 8 of my television film gigs got put on hold, and then on top of that 10 speaking engagements, I was like, okay, wait a minute, let me I said, let me sit back and really think about the next move. But the next move ended up being a certain level of discipline and being focused. Today is day 52. I have not had any alcohol.
Wow.
I have not drunk no wine, liquor, beer, no type of drug whatsoever, marijuana, anything like that. It did something to me to make me say, okay, when you think about pandemic, you think about chaos, and you think about all of this craziness that's going on in the world. Now's the time to really get to know myself.
Yeah.
It's time to lock in. Whatever I feel can be detrimental to me, I'm leaving it alone. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to love turning up, partying, drinking, chilling, but something told me during this time, nah, let me take a seat back and let me really analyze myself, even with all of the craziness going on. And I'm gonna be honest, this has been probably one of the best, like, vacations from everything in a long time. I mean, I really love being in here with my wife and my kid. I love being able to, talk to my daughter and my granddaughter and my mom and dad. All of them are out DC. Yeah, that's where we're originally from.
Yeah.
But, just being able to still talk to everybody and being here with a level head, a clear mind,
Right, bro. I was just gonna say that too. I'm like, because we're on the set for so long, or you have your speaking engagements that may be in other states and cities and stuff nationwide. I was just gonna say, how is it actually having to be at home? And you hit the nail on the head by saying, I love it. It's an extended vacation. So
yeah, it's amazing because and see, that's another thing. A lot of people, a lot of entertainers in our field, they don't have the real connection with their mate. They don't have a real connection with their kids, and that's a problem.
that
So
is.
maybe this was, God's way of saying, I'm gonna sit y'all down. I'm gonna sit you down for a minute. Now you have to look your boyfriend or girlfriend or your husband or your wife in the eye and really, express those feelings. If there's any feelings there, those got to be expressed with your
You have to
kids.
talk. You have to
Yeah,
talk. And I think a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot, but I think I would think, and this is just my opinion, I would think some people that have gotten into relationships, including in our industries, probably for looks.
yeah,
Also, too, knowing that this is perfect because we don't have to be around each other as much. And
yeah, yeah,
boom, something like this happened. You have to be around your spouse. You have to share that togetherness, and it
yeah.
probably wreaked havoc to so many relationships. I know I didn't watch this episode on Red Table, but I saw the preview of where Jada said that during this whole quarantine and this pandemic, she feel like she don't even know who Will is. And I was like, what?
Whoa. Yeah, I just looked at that and I was like,
I was like,
wow.
y'all been together for 20 years, done some
Yeah,
stuff that was questionable.
yeah, yeah,
No,
most definitely. But see, that's what, and I seen that headline, and I'm gonna look at it because I want to see what she actually says.
yeah.
But
I know it has
when
some
I think,
profoundness to it.
yeah,
I know it has some profoundness too, but it was just shocking how
it
that
was,
came up.
yeah. But it made me think about me and my wife. It made me think about me and Aisha, and I was like, me and Aisha, we actually love being around each other anyway.
Yeah.
Every time you see me, you see her. Every time you see her, you see me. If we're not with our kids, you see us together. But at the same time, when you have a deep connection with your mate, we're going on 16 years of marriage, so it's like we got a deep connection, and we actually love being around each other, and nothing has changed from us having to sit in the house now. And I mean, right now she's in the guest room, doing her arts and crafts, doing what she loves to do. I'm in here talking to my sister, doing what I love to do. Malachi, he has everything he wants downstairs, playing the game, and plenty of food and plenty of love in the house.
Right.
So when
So
you
right, so people are, how Sierra and Russell, they're the face of like Black love, but people don't even know about you and Aisha, man. You and Aisha, man, y'all be
yeah,
lit, and I be loving it. I'm like, y'all bring out the youth in each other. Y'all bring out like the real love, and I see that in the support that you guys do. Because when she started her arts and craft, with her bow ties and pocket handkerchiefs and stuff. And I'm like, yo, you was like on it. And then you guys created the shirts and stuff for the shirts and stuff for your brand. I was just like, yo, I for the people that I know, I've never seen so much support where it's just like, back to back.
Most definitely.
I thought that was cool. Is she making masks and stuff too?
Yeah, it's so crazy because that started as just her just doing it one day, and then it kind of took off, and now she ran out of product. So it was almost like
who had thought that we would need something she was making already?
No, literally, I was like today when I hit you early, I said I'm at the car dealer getting the oil change.
Yeah.
To see, I would have never thought in a million years I would have to get out the car and put on a mask. And wear gloves. I mean, it's crazy, and it almost makes you say, I don't even want to go outside. Like, I told her that today. I'm like, I don't feel like coming back out here no more.
You don't.
Putting on a mask and gloves is too much right now.
Exactly, and it's not even about, I don't want to be outside. It's the fact of having to put on a whole extra attire is what get me.
Yes.
I left Minnesota because I hate putting on coats and gloves and scarves and mittens, and now
Yeah.
I got to do it worldwide.
Yeah,
Bruh,
that's true.
I'm moving to another planet.
I feel you on that.
Okay, so one of my questions I have for you, bro, is
Mhm.
we're just gonna jump right in. Like,
It's whatever.
so
Yeah.
I already know. Like, I've been asking this question too about how the quarantine loving has been for folks, and most of my people I talk to, they all single. So I
Yeah.
had one folk talk about he Uber Eats it in. So with you having your wife, you guys have a live-in situation. Have you seen you guys love increase in that manner?
The love
Or
life? Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like the straight, like the physical, like straight up, like, bro, I'm about to do something I ain't tried.
Oh, most definitely. All the time. Yeah. That our love life
Ain't
is,
no
yeah.
holding out.
It ain't no holding out. It's definitely no holding out on the love life, the love making.
Yeah,
Whatever wherever we want to go, we
y'all
go there.
there. That's
Yeah, I
dope,
mean,
man.
because we talking, like I said, we talking going on 16 years of marriage, and like like I said, we're in love. We love
Yeah,
each other. So
after 16 years.
yeah,
That's dope,
after
man.
16 years, we still can look at each other and get chills over any little thing.
Yeah,
Any little thing. I love every part of her body. She loves every part of my body.
yeah.
And we're just, we have a real connection like that. So as far as being quarantined in the house, is I told her the other day, I'm probably a little bit more worse being in the house on that aspect, saying, hey, I can't
Ain't got
even look
nothing else to do.
I can't look at my wife too long without wanting to take her clothes off or something. You know what I'm
Be
saying?
like, Kai downstairs.
Yeah. Most definitely. So that is it's always been at a level though, but now of course it increases now that you gotta look at me every day 24/7. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. That's hilarious, bro. Like,
Most definitely.
so when I hear the 16 years, so she was there during The Wire then.
You know what? She was there at the beginning of The Wire before, and I can say any of us even knew what The Wire was going to be.
Okay.
She was there at the beginning when it was just starting, and I didn't really know what I was a part of.
Yeah,
I just know it was like, yo, I'm on this show, The Wire, and she did the way we met. We met at a club called VIP. It was a huge event where a whole bunch of people went to just hang out, a club back in DC, VIP. And
yeah.
I remember my wife walking up to me, and she said, she mentioned something about The Wire, because around that time, I want to say maybe the second, third, fourth episode was on.
Yeah, it
And
just came out then.
being a recognizable face, I didn't really realize I was a recognizable face like that. Because like I said, that was my first national job that I had ever booked as an actor. That was my
Bro,
first
you was cool.
audition.
What you mean?
That, but no, it was so funny because like we had a conversation briefly about that. And then when she walked away, I remember grabbing her, like literally, like I want to say this was 18 years ago because we met in 2002, but we've been married for 16. You
Yeah.
know, we got married in 2004. But
Or-
I remember grabbing her to come back, and I was like, "Yo, do you date younger men?" Because my wife is 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was 21 when I met my wife, she was 27.
You wouldn't
You
have been
know,
able to know.
yeah, I know. And she doesn't mind. She doesn't mind me telling people that. You
That's
know,
why I
but
said I knew she was a little bit older because I know Tina was a little older. But
yeah,
that's the only way I would have guessed. But other than that though, like you guys compliment each other so well. So
I
that's why,
feel
like you wouldn't have guessed it.
yeah. But she was definitely there at the beginning. When The Wire started, she was there through, of course, through all of the ups and downs. Because after The Wire ended in 2008, I didn't really get no work, for a long time. I want to say Saints and Sinners was 2015,
Yeah.
2016, and that's when the series Regular and all of that came back. But in between 2008 and 2015, I was just doing like indie films, maybe a film a hit BT every now and then.
Yeah.
I started really taking matters into my own hands though with being independent, and that's where I won. You know, like creating my own films with my friends. Those type of films like 6 Arts 1 Beat. I got a national distribution deal with Pure Flix. Me and my man James Hunter and Derek Hammond hooked up with them. I hooked up with other people to start, you know, put my music out there more, shooting videos,
Right.
and I was still do everything that I was doing independent was almost serving as a commercial because I would still pop up on television.
Yeah.
You know, when I would shoot a video, it'll still go to BET and MTV. So there's my 3 minutes of, you know, fame being on television with music. And then the independent films that I was doing, like I remember doing this one joint called Lorenzo and Monica and another one called Dead Money, which starred Clifton Powell. This was before me and Clifton worked together again on Saints and Sinners.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these films were getting picked up at Target, Walmart, Redbox. Like, I was still in the
so
mix.
You were working, but it's just it wasn't necessarily on that national level because I remember when we first met on Saints and Sinners and stuff working, I remember you was telling me this and I was like, wow, I wouldn't imagine because I think a lot of people they get it in their heads that once you get that one national role that you're gonna take off. And that's not necessarily true in your case.
Yeah, that's not necessarily true, most definitely, because it's almost like your path is your path.
Yeah.
You know, whatever path God has you on, you got to focus and stay true to that. You know, so my path for me was to do The Wire. And then I think what it was for me was I was able to see, you know, before everybody talks this whole I'm independent, I was really in the streets of DC selling my own films, T-shirts, movies, books out of the trunk of my car.
Oh, bro, I thought you was about to say something else. I was like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm in the streets of DC selling like all of my product out of the trunk of the car. And I was able to already establish that straight to consumer relationship.
Yeah.
Like it was mind blowing back then because it's like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me if I met 100 people today, if 100 people bought product, that's money. And I got their email address. That means anything I put out, I can hit the same 100 people, and then they gonna go tell another 100 people.
Exactly.
And they might. So I started building a fan base, and that's how George Pierre reached out to me years later. I created a buzz in the streets. Like, look, I mean, and I'm gonna be honest, if Saints and Sinners, like, which is a blessing, if that wouldn't have came, I would still be doing what I got to do to make bread.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
find
saying?
a way. You don't sit back and wait for it to come to you. You go to it. Yeah,
Exactly.
On that, I definitely feel you on that. And I will add to the fact that the new generation doesn't understand the real hustle behind it. They got it a little bit easier, in which we appreciate too because we can utilize it as well. But that going in your trunk, popping your trunk, selling it, having to actually talk to people and not hide behind a computer or a device or anything like that.
I learned
it had its I was gonna say it had its perks to it and what we use now do too, but it was just something about that grassroots being able to physically talk to somebody.
And I'm still the same way with the way I approach things now. I mean, because I guess people would definitely say, okay, that's mainstream. That's mainstream. But at the same time, you know, I still use the same formula, which keeps me winning. Right. So if it's, you know, like I love to start things off grassroots, like you said, because that's where I come from, and that's what I'm used to. Even with me starting the Dedicated Father Series YouTube page now, that's grassroots. You know, YouTube, it's like it ain't no such thing as this person is bigger than that person or this person is smaller than that person. Everybody starts grassroots on YouTube. You still got to work to get 1 million hits. I mean, that ain't just no overnight thing, you know. So I love doing that, and I love being able to share the experience of what that's like, and that's how I've been able to, you know, gain so many great relationships in this business, and so many people really, really, truly support me and look out for everything that I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel you on that. I absolutely do. I just like, man, it's something.
I know, right?
It's something. So I know you were saying, you know, how long you been in Atlanta now, Trey? For like 4 years?
It's going on in 2 more months. It'll be 3 years, sis.
Be 3 years.
3 years. You remember when I first moved here? I was texting you. I said,
You was
"Man,
like, what areas?" And I'm
what
like,
area?"
okay,
I'm
so
like,
you gotta,
but
you
even
gotta
you
do this.
telling me about certain spots, you always told me about dope spots that was dope and places I can go chill and I can go hang out. I could have. I remember when I didn't even know where to take my wife to eat. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm like,
I
bro,
don't know.
check this place out. And it's still
Yeah,
more that's coming too. However, you know, you got a little break from it.
with the situation, yeah.
Save
But I
me
mean,
some money though.
oh, most definitely. And once you told me, it was a lot of spots you recommended that were just great that we still, every now and then it hit in just the environment in certain events, going to those events where you're going network and be around people. I had to learn. I learned quick though. I got out here and I said, okay, I'm gonna get out here and really learn this quick, and I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna grind. And this has been Atlanta is home,
Yeah. Right. You see, I'm repping. I got my homeboy Tori Edwards shirt on. The Atlanta influences everything with Spud Webb on it. You know, I've been
Oh
down
yeah,
here too long, so I'm about to represent.
most definitely,
It's
most
a
definitely.
shameless little plug for him. But
Yeah.
no, for anybody that don't know, I've been here for over 12 years now. So
Wow.
Atlanta is home. I got my folks back in Minnesota, and I got people down in Texas and stuff now too. But it's just anytime people like, oh, you think of home, I'm like, I think of Atlanta because this is where I literally spent my earlier adult years all the way up until where I'm at now. So yeah, I'm like, this is home.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's home. I can't wait to finish exploring it and seeing where it takes me once we can get
Yeah,
back to what we were doing.
that's true.
I know it's not going to be normal, but it's going to be the new normal.
Yeah, everything has changed. It's definitely changed. Everything is and everything is going to be changed. Like once this is over, this is the new way. This is the new way of living for a while, and when it does get back, it won't be the same.
Right. I said, so I'm gonna have to go and get one of those them dedicated. I ain't no dedicated father, but dedicated mothers and dedicated family shirts from me too and represent.
Most definitely, most definitely. I
I
feel
have to. That's one thing about me though. I was like, I love to support as far as I can. I
yeah,
say it's some people that reach out like, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, but then I forget, and I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry if I forgot.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
Just
feel
remind
you.
me. You gotta remind me. What was I gonna say? So for those who don't know, with you being on the wire, you know how it came back around. It's been crazy. It's been almost 20 years since it's dropped, but at the same time, it's back on the map since this whole pandemic has happened, which makes you extra blessed as well, getting your
Yeah,
name back out there too. But also, I know you get it all the time. Is, oh God, you know Michael B.
yeah, all the time. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, all
you
the
Michael
time.
B. Jordan.
We knew Michael B. Jordan was going to be special back then, though. You
Yeah,
know,
baby.
his younger years, he was just good. He was always good at what he did. I mean, he's a great actor, but besides being an actor, he's a good person.
Yeah,
I know his mother. I know his father, his brother, his sister. Like, to know his family and to know where he comes from, it's almost like I'm not surprised at,
yeah.
at where he's at.
He's headed, and
Yeah, on
pretty
what
good.
level he's reached and where he's continuing to or where he's getting ready to go. I mean,
Right.
people think he's at a level now, but that upbringing that he had with his mom and dad and his family, he's probably getting ready to go somewhere that nobody even expected, but like I said, just knowing him and his mom being so sweet, and his dad being a hard worker, and like I said, I know them from seeing them all the time on set.
Yeah.
And he was just cool. You know, I always get, why'd you all kill Wallace's character? You know, why'd you kill Michael B. Jordan's character off
I
the
didn't know
wire?
the story.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't make the story up, bro.
But that's something to this day. Like that scene, that particular scene made my career.
Yeah.
I can't speak for JD. You know, I don't know if he feels that way about his career, but I know for a fact that scene is the scene that, you know, had a couple of producers, directors, writers reaching out to me for work.
Well,
because
y'all had to take Wallace out, man. That was messed up.
Yeah, that was a big day too. You know what I'm saying? That was a big day because everybody was a little, you know, heartbroken that day. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he didn't get the script until maybe a couple of days before.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't like we had a conversation with the producers and the directors saying, hey, we're killing your character off today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but you know, the way it came out, it was art. You know what I'm saying? It was really a powerful scene, and it's something that people will never forget. And that's why I say, you know, as far as my career is concerned, I'm like, man, when I look back, I'm like, wow, I've done some things that people may not ever forget. You know, people are comparing The Wire, are saying The Wire is a part of history, and that's not.
It is. It's a cult classic, really.
Yeah, it's a cult classic,
yeah.
and people will always forever come up and say, "Pooh." You know, I probably will never be able to escape that name ever, which I don't have a problem with.
Right. I think I might have binge watched it back in like 2014. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yo, this show is like amazing. And I don't even, a lot of times I don't even care for, in a sense, a little bit of Black exploitation type shows and movies and stuff. But it was just something about that was so real. And then knowing that I knew people from DC and knowing how they casted folks there, which made it awesome. But yeah, you know, I work with Mike too. And I agree with everything that you said. I met his mom. I didn't meet his sister or brother or anything like that, but I met his mom, super sweet, short lady.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's the epitome of that wholesome family, because every time I go on set and he'll see me, he go be like, hey, you know, like we were just all family. He'd just make sure he say hi, he'd give a hug and stuff. And I thought that was so cool that he didn't act Hollywood, as they would say, because I've been around a lot of actors that were that way, and he was. You've
been around a lot of actors, like you know what I'm saying. You're somebody. You can be interviewed on all of the actors and their attitudes and how they've acted. You know, just on set.
Right, I got some that I probably won't even remember how they might have treated people on set. When I'm like, you remember when you did this? They'd be like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, but no, it's one thing I'll say too, and this is gonna be me maybe probably telling the world, but I remember after we did the shoot, when everything was done. So Mike is a very private person, right? And I remember once we were done, he was getting ready to go on tour for his Creed run for the Creed 2 coming out. And I was invited to come to one of the cities that they were in, right? And it was so funny because I'm like, oh, this feels weird. I don't want to feel like no groupie. I don't want to feel like no groupie, but it was so chill and so cool. And when I showed up to where everybody was, I went by myself. I just was like, I ain't about to make this about no whole thing. So I went by myself, and when I showed up to where everyone was, where he was, some of the producers, the homeboy that was his manager, he was like, what are you doing here? And I was just like, I was invited. And he was like, yo, that's wild. He was like, I'm happy to see. But he was so cool. And that's when I was like, you know, everybody had their crush and stuff on him. But for me, that day, that made it, to me, he felt like a family member because he was so cool and laid back. Like, would you want anything? we played paper, rock, scissors.
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah,
I feel you.
but yeah, I was gonna say it's just awesome to be around people like you, like him, like a lot of the people I've been around that I can mention a name and be like, yeah, what's up, man? They'll remember me, and that's like
Right.
the best feelings. I was gonna ask you about what's next. I know you said you had a few projects that are on hold, about 7 or 8.
Yeah,
So.
I definitely I can't mention nothing about Saints and Sinners right now.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
allowed.
you can't talk about that.
I'm not allowed to.
Elizabeth
But
gonna get you.
look, I ain't allowed to say nothing. But definitely as far as my documentary, Undeniable, the Trey Chaney story, it's making a lot of it's making a lot of noise in the film festival circuit.
Yeah.
And
oh wow.
yeah, it's making a lot of noise. Of course, right now we're at a complete halt, you know, in a complete stop. But Undeniable, the Trey Chaney story is about, you know, how after The Wire ended, how me and you spoke. I had to recreate my brain. I had to hustle. I had to grind. And it's more of an inspiration for people like yourself, me, people around the world to never give up, regardless of the circumstances. Being committed and dedicated to the process without getting emotionally attached to the end result.
Yeah.
And I got some awesome testimonials from Clifton Powell, Big Daddy Kane, Kenny Lattimore, Russ Parr, Vanessa Bell Calloway, a lot of great people. Idris Elba was one of the guys who, you know, really spearheaded the trailer off. You know, he shouted it out, and a lot of people, it brought awareness to it. And other than that,
Idris. I forgot about Idris even being in The Wire. His character is so lit too.
that's the homie right there.
Yeah.
So I got that coming out, and then it's just a lot of. I wish I could tell you about some of the movie projects, but I can't talk about them now that everything is on hold. You know, But it is some television and film projects that's coming that I'm a part of that I'm very excited about, and I can't wait to actually be able to share it. You know.
Bro, it's coming. I already know it. And one day, I'm pretty sure me and you be back on set and
together,
a different capacity, because you know I'm spearheading my whole acting career too. So I was just like, I got the time. Heck yeah.
And by the way, I love what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I love what you're doing with everything, the short films, the films, the vlogs, the commercial, everything that you got going on. I really, because like I said, I know you know what I'm saying? And I know you're gonna work hard at whatever it is that you have going on, which is a great thing. On a music tip, I got a project
next. Yeah,
I got a project dropping this week. I got an EP dropping. It's 3 songs. It's called 3X Trilogy instead of Trilogy, because you know
Trilogy.
it's 3. Yeah. So it's Trilogy. And then I got this other record called Goat Legend Boss that I've been pumping real heavy. It's a club record. It's dance. I'm talking however I want to talk on there. I'm just having a great time with music, you know, because I feel, especially in the times we living in now, people want to hear some jamming music. You know what I'm saying? To really lift their spirits, to have them dancing and
no holds barred. That's, I'm telling you, man, that Grind With Me that you put me on, that song lit to me.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you doing the challenge. I really like I said, I make music just to have fun. You know, I mean, it is a profession of mine because I do tour. You know, I get a chance to tour with Snoop Dogg, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick, Rakim. You know, some of the legends in the game who really got a lot of.
You know, you've been on since you were a child, right?
Yeah, since I was 8 years old.
Yeah, that's dope.
The first time I met Kane, I was 8, and then you know, from meeting him, it was I had to remind him of who I was years later, because meeting him at 8 years old, that was one thing, but then me continuing to do what I'm doing in my career, it was almost like he was a fan of Poop from The Wire.
Yeah.
But I had to remind him, I'm like, Kane, it's me. It's that kid from 8 years old that you told never to give up. And whether we lost contact or not, now we're like this. Because he's like, wow.
That was,
Yeah, that's a moment. You know, showing him the picture of me and him at 8, and now him looking years later, and he's a fan of mine, but he doesn't know where he knows me from. He just like, oh, that's my man from The Wire. I'm
Isn't
a fan
that
of
wild?
Yeah, but that's the story of me and Kane. It's almost like I remember meeting Big Daddy Kane at 8 years old, and after I seen him perform on that New York City Apollo stage, I wanted to be an artist.
I was
and
just
I went
gonna
on,
say, weren't you on Apollo? Because I remember
yeah,
you showing your dance skills. And I
yeah.
was
When
like,
I used to
this
dance
bro
at
hit some
Apollo,
splits.
yeah, when I used to dance at Apollo, I'm still dancing. I'm still doing splits and dancing on stage. But yeah, I started as a hip hop dancer, 8 years old, hip hop artist, and you know, coming from Washington, D.C., just traveling, doing talent shows and getting my name out there. And then, of course, the acting came when I was about 18, 19. I was years later, 10, 11 years later, and The Wire being my first job as an actor.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a transition. But now, you know, in this day and age, I'm glad that I'm blessed to be able to still have everything. You know, it took a while for the music to be respected because it's always actors turning into rappers. That's not easy all the time.
That whole dichotomy of how people feel about that is strange.
It is.
Because we're all a part of the entertainment industry. There should be no, I mean, as long as you're respecting each realm, you get what I'm saying? Dang, what's it? She played JD's wife.
Carly.
I forget Carly. Carly Red. That was my boo. Sorry, Carly, if you see that. I just had a blank. I see your face in my head. But Carly, I remember specifically, she would put me to the side and be like, Mandy, she's like, can you please record my my performance? She's like, I just need to see what I'm doing. And it wasn't to see if she's doing good. She's like, to where she can focus and work on that. And for that very reason, I end up respecting her more because, you know, I've been in this industry for a long time too. I went to school for this, you know, you get your folks that go to school, they think they know everything. And so you to see somebody that went from the rapping world and acting and say and take it so seriously, you know, you can't do anything but respect that. So that's why I don't get where you'll get some of the musicians and artists that get so pissed when actors come over. I'm like, yo, I'm multi-talented. I shouldn't have to stick to one thing because you say so.
and that's one thing about me. I'll never allow anybody to put me in a box, you know, and anybody that's watching this, I definitely advise that. Like, don't let nobody put you in a box. If it's something that you're passionate about, you got to go for it because we all know life is short and you don't want to go 6 feet under, man. Like, I coulda, shoulda, woulda did this. I mean, right now is the time to just go for what you know. Just really pursue and push, you know?
And not even life just only being short. It can be stopped. Like, life is stopped right now. We're still living and breathing, but for a lot of people, their world has stopped and they don't know what to do. So, yeah, you got to find different avenues, and you can't let anybody stick you in a box.
Yeah.
Like, I would say I was one of those people where I feel like, oh, I got to stay in this lane because will people take me seriously? And I remember Keith Neal, he told me he didn't know that I act, and he said he came to one of the projects I did was in a Bronze Lens Festival. He was like, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, one of the projects." He thinking I was behind the scene. I'm like, "No, I'm acting." "Okay." He was like, "So I didn't know you act." And I was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm the type of person where, you know, I kind of want people to see what I'm doing, not have to tell them." He was like, "Well," he was like, "closed mouths don't get fed." He was like, how are we supposed to know what you're doing if you don't say anything?" I was just like, well, you know, I've always been the person to just show up for the job that I'm asked to do, not necessarily try to come and spearhead a whole different direction because I thought that was always tacky. So, all right, bro. I was like, it's getting close to that time. Can you just run through what you're doing right now? What's up and coming besides the stuff you can't talk about? Reiterate your IG story.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, give them flowers while they still here is my IG. If anybody's watching right now, please follow me on Instagram. It's at Mr. Trey Chaney, TRAYCHANEY. And that's the Give Them Flowers series, where I just talk to a lot of my friends in the industry, let them know how they inspired me or motivated me. Then the Dedicated Father series YouTube page, I'm really serious about that one. I want everybody to subscribe, to the Dedicated Father series YouTube page. All 16, 17 of my videos that I shot, full videos that premiered on blogs, MTV, BT, they're all on there.
Yeah.
So that the page, and then I got a vlog series where I've been recording my process, what I've been doing since this whole quarantine, and that's on the YouTube series as well. It's called the Chaney Conscious Diet, where, like I said, it consists of no drinking, no type of smoking, straight up prayer, meditation, working out. It's something that people can follow. Again, it's practical.
Yeah.
Like when you wake up,
you've done that fast before.
I did the fast before.
It's nothing new to you, yeah, and it's not hard.
Yeah, it's definitely not hard. But then you get into a routine. I want people to get a routine of being healthy or establish the habit of wanting to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? So I said, in order for me to talk about it, I really got to live it. So now I'm showing you through the vlog. Like, now you're going to see me wake up at 4 a.m, make the bed up. Hygiene is important. Brush my teeth, wash my face, shower, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to see how I move. You're going to see what I eat in the morning. Oatmeal, fruit, you know what I'm saying? Water. You're going to see how because like I said, I can't just talk about it. I got to go through it, put myself through it before I can tell somebody else.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, so that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that. And
I love that. So you got the IG Live, Give Them Flowers, and then you have your vlog where it pretty much just follow your lifestyle. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for coming on Man Chats with Mandy. I had to change the name like 2 times. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So you're gonna see another episode. I kept changing the name.
Definitely send me. I definitely want this episode. I definitely want to post this. I definitely want to support Man Child, whatever you got. I want to support it.
Man Child.
I want to support it. I want to tell people about it. And I definitely want to share what we did today, because I want to get a couple sound bites from this joint, get a couple of links where I can just be like, yo, this is what we talked about. And then, with us being in this industry, when we send stuff out like this, you get somebody else to get on this joint and, you know what I'm saying, do an interview. So that's why I really want this footage, when you package it up. Everybody who won't be